Now, unless you've been under a rock, you've heard about the untimely death of CMG artist Yo Gotti, his brother Big Jook. Now, I decided it was important to make this video. I'm going to teach you how to use the facts, your common sense, and then base your opinion and everything off of that. We're going to go over the facts of what happened, and we are going to address the rumor that this is connected to young Dolph. Now, as we know, the brother of Yo Gotti was taken out Saturday, and I wanted to wait to make this video because, bro, I want to show the importance of waiting till the facts come out. All right, now let's talk about Big Jook. Big Jook is somebody who's really well known in Memphis. He's known as Yo Gotti brother, but see, he never did music. Yo Gotti was the artist. He's like the Slim to Yo Gotti's baby. And I mean, you could even tell from everybody that's mourning that Big Jook was like a well-respected love figure in Memphis. I mean, you can see that he had a lot of love from a lot of the bigger people in Memphis. One of those people, Finesse 2 Times. I mean, it seemed like everybody kind of under the CMG window. Glorilla, ESTG, just everybody under the CMG window. So it's very apparent that this is a big loss for CMG. I did a little preliminary research on him because his real name is Anthony Mims, and the only thing I could really find is this right here. This is back in '03. He was charged for bribery of a public servant, $2,000 fine, 3 years, possession of controlled substance with intent to manufacture, deliver to sell, $2,000 fine, 8 years, aggravated assault, 3 years. So this looks like what he was facing pretty much. I am gonna have a documentary about him coming up though, so make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for that. But now let's go over the facts and what we know about what happened to him, because there's a lot of stuff on social media. And honestly, I'm gonna start with the title. Yo Gotti's brother Big Jook taken out in shooting outside of Memphis restaurant, police confirm, right? So when we talking about facts, rap blogs are not facts. That's not a credible source of information. Police reports are a credible source of information. And who reports police reports? The local news, right? So Fox 13 in Memphis, we're going to pretty much go over their report. At least 5 police sources have confirmed that Memphis rapper Yo Gotti's brother, Anthony Big Jook Mims, was killed in a shooting outside of a Memphis restaurant Saturday afternoon. Now, the reason why that stands out to me is because I think it's mostly been cleared up online. I seen a lot of people running with the fact that he had got hit outside of a funeral. Come to find out, he was actually leaving a funeral. But we're going to get into that. So he was hit outside of a restaurant. We know that there was another man hit with them. Here's that restaurant. This area kind of looks like a nice area, but you know, Memphis might be one of those places where there isn't no nice areas. I know Fort Worth, Texas is kind of becoming like that, to where there is not really no good side of towns. But anyway, the other man was rushed to the hospital and he passed away. So they're saying one man, but I'm believing that's Jook because this next sentence says somebody else was listed in critical condition. So police said that they believe the 2 men were targeted in the shooting. So that's number one. That's a glaring fact. That's a fact that you need to write down, that this was for sure targeted. And I'm sure it's common sense, but just stay with me. We got to go off the facts. They also have surveillance footage, right? So this we know for a fact that this is caught on camera. The footage, of course, has not released and probably will not release, but it is the internet, so you never really know. Police said Sunday that they believe this was like kind of a development that hit, that they believe that the suspects left in a white Ford Explorer. Now, these images hit the web. This kind of looks like the newer body style. Explorer, the one that the police used. And the most noticeable thing about these images that when they first came out is that these people are calculated because there are no license plates, bro. So right now, there is literally no way to trace them. So they released these to the public, Memphis PD has, and that's so far all the news has, right? So stay with me. This is all we know right now. This is all we know, okay? Now, here's another article. TMZ is what I would consider a credible source. We're going to go over some more facts, right? Because this is a credible source of information. And I want to go back to the rumor at first of where it happened, and just to show you how facts can get twisted, especially on the internet, right? And how you can steer clear and how you can think of this logically. So this article proves to us that he was indeed at a funeral service. They're once again releasing these images. They're kind of showing. He made a story. Big Jook did, kind of right the day before of the day, or the day of his untimely passing, and he pretty much honored whoever that was whose funeral they were at. I don't want to show that gentleman in the casket, but here they show Big Jook kind of moments before this all happened. So we do know he was there. Now, one thing that also strikes me is that this image right here, in another, I've seen this right here, and it had Yo Gotti circled too, and that's important too because several people have said it and reported it. We don't have any proof right now, any reports that Yo Gotti was at that funeral. Now, with that said, it's very likely that he was there. Especially if this is their family, it's very likely that he was there. I'm sure people seen him there. I'm sure he was there. However, we don't have a report anywhere that Yo Gotti was there. And we're going to look right here just to make sure. So even when you read through an article like this, there's another source I seen down here that I think might be a good source. Once again, it's important to note that there has been no credible news source to post or report that Yo Gotti was there. Now, once again, that don't mean he wasn't. Unless you were there and can verify and seen him with your own two eyes, it is not a fact that he was there. Now, let's talk about another fact, and this is probably the most shocking fact of this entire video, and that is that the police are aware of the speculation that this was connected to young Dolph. Now, Yahoo News is once again a credible source of information when it comes to news, and so it says here, it states the obvious. Now, here's something that I haven't seen in the other articles, and that's that a local outlet, ABC 24, reports that about a couple hundred people were inside the building when the shooting took place outside. This is just the deputy chief talking about that the fact that they do have a video, that they, don't have a clear suspect at the time, that they were, if in fact, at a repast, right? So they were pretty much asked if it had anything to do with Dolph, and so far the police have not made that connection, right? So why do I say that, and why is that important? The reason why that's important is because of comments like this. I'm not going to read them, just look what they're saying, right? And you seeing nothing but dolphins and stuff like that in CMG's comments. Now, I'm going to break this down from both sides, right? Because now we're about to get into the video where you use your common sense and you kind of base it off of that too. So first, we're going to bust a myth just to get this misinformation out of the way. This video claims that they actually caught the getaway vehicle going away, and I'm going to show y'all that's not even the same vehicle, bro. Bruh. That's not an Explorer, bro. So the sad part is that not only do you have adults who can't decipher the difference between real and fake information, you got kids who are eating this stuff up and don't even know, bro, that's not even the same vehicle. That's kind of an easy one, but that's just one I wanted to point out. But let's talk about the self-snitching that's going on, right? Because not only do you have the fans implicating PRE, one thing that's common in hip-hop, you'll see, when somebody passed, you see the opposite side doing something called woofing, right? And typically when they woofing like that, it implies that they have something to do with it. Now, you also have a lot of what they call work claiming, where, people claiming stuff that they didn't do. But either way, with there already being speculation that PRE has something to do with it, it's kind of crazy. I mean, not even just him, Paper Route, Jay Fizzle. I mean, all of them have kind of responded in their own way, kind of celebrating this death. So that's where your common sense kind of comes in, right? Because the facts, with the facts of this right now, what we have zero to implicate PRE. We have zero. Even if you're looking at it from a street angle, we have no proof that this is y'all's work. And on the other side of it, the civilian side of it, the side of it that I'm on, there's nothing connecting them to this. So it's a dangerous game when the PRE fans are kind of implicating them in this, and even themselves kind of implicating themselves in this. The last exhibit I have, just to show y'all how slippery of a slope it is and why it's important to only rely on the facts in times like this. This is somebody on a site called Reddit. A lot of us nerds use Reddit, but he pretty much goes into a story on he got this info from a family member, and I want you to show this is on Reddit. This is pretty good, right? This means people are eating this post up, and it's pretty much like, look, I don't know how accurate this is, but apparently 3 N-words walked in with all black at the back of the funeral. Now, let's stop there. Let's use our common sense. Forget the facts. At what point are 3 hitmen gonna walk into a funeral? So to me, the credibility of this is already off. But you can't see them on the live stream because they camera ain't show the back of the church. Right, convenient. They confirmed they waited outside till Jook and the security guard left the funeral and then trailed them to the repast. Now, while this sounds kind of logical now, we still can't get over that first sentence. He said they trailed them into the once they stopped in that parking lot, one way in, one way out. They started spraying stuff up, and he got hit with the switch. I don't know if the bodyguard's still alive, but bro was in bad shape last I heard. So the next step of this story is if the person who got shot with him, which they haven't identified as his security, is actually his security. If that is his security, then this story might have some validity. However, it's important once again in this situation that we wait till the facts come out, because right now it's not fair to implicate PRE on both ends of it. I understand Dolph had a lot of fans. I'm a Dolph fan. But at the same time, y'all not going to be happy if a PRE Rico comes out, because according to y'all, they've been spinning and spinning and spinning. So, and let's let the facts come out before we make more stories. So, man, if you like this, subscribe. We watch some of my interviews, some of my documentaries. It's good stuff. Love y'all. Let's get it.